I just rushed back to the beautiful Novus Hotel here in Stockholm after a delicious dinner where I tried a new seafood dish I'd never had before with Joachim from our legacy at a restaurant called Broad, B-R-O-D.
Broad. They do Lil Michaela?
Yeah, exactly. You've seen their little character before, right? But it was delicious. Sorry I kept you waiting for a couple minutes. How's it going over there?
I need to know about this new fish dish that you speak of, Chris. Come on, let's get into it.
I'm sorry. Joachim was friends with the chef who was really nice, and he was basically like, "Oh, this is like a kind of like a crawfish lobster combo. That's like it's like a Swedish thing. It's like a word that neither of you or I could say."
Okay, is it like a langoustine?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I think you might be right. Yeah, and you have a little fork, like almost like a lobster thing, where you dig it out. Pause.
Mm-hmm. You dig it out.
It was
dig it out. Nice.
It was really.
You love to eat the langostino. Okay.
It was very good. Yeah, it was very good.
So you're getting adventurous out there with Swedish men is what I expected, but I didn't think it was going to happen so early in your trip.
Well, I've had a long day of I've been dealing with Swedish men all day, and I'm worn out.
They have a lot of saunas there, right? Sauna culture's big there.
Yeah, dude. I'm not exaggerating. I went to visit Barclay at the Byredo office, which was fucking amazing. But he was like, "Oh, our building has a sauna." And he takes me down to the first floor, and there's a beautiful sauna and 2 showers that anyone that is employed in this building can use.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. They be doing it different over there.
They be doing it big. I was like, damn, have you ever used it? He's like, no, I have one in my building.
Really? Like, so in New York, it's like if you're a multimillionaire if you have laundry in your building.
Yes,
but
exactly.
in Sweden, it's a government mandate that you should have a sauna in every building.
Exactly. It's really impressive.
What is the downside of Sweden, Chris? Do you have any negatives? Any cons? Con spelled with a 0 and an umlaut over it, of course.
No, but it was really impressive. I was like, damn, that's really cool. It looked very clean as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've had a long day in the motherland, but I finally returned to the Big Apple tomorrow, which I'm sure you can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait because the time difference and everything. It's straining on our work.
Yeah, it's straining for me. I agree. Yeah, you nothing is changing for you at all. But yeah, it's a little bit strenuous for me. Having to cut luxurious meals short.
Yeah, that part is a bummer for you. But just like I guess I don't know. I think it's a team sport.
It is.
And I'm the Shaq and you're the Kobe. And,
okay.
I can't get everything done. I'm trying to win another.
No, I know. I'm trying to count rings. I'm saved the story for you because I forgot to tell it the other day. But so I was trying to get a fade here in Stockholm. And Barclay, who is black, was like, don't do it. He was like, don't do it. Barclay was like, do not do it.
What does he do? Does he travel to a different country to get a haircut?
He's dead ass. He's like, I just grow my shit out until I go to America and then I get a haircut. He's like, I don't do it.
No way.
I'm like, bro, come on. I mean, I think he's being a little bit facetious.
Sure.
But like, he's like, they don't understand the texture here. He's like, you'll probably be okay. Like, all jokes aside, because you look like you could be Swedish basically. So you'll probably be fine. So I just Google it and I go to a barber shop. And it's just me and this guy. It's like a Middle Eastern guy who grew up in Sweden, and he's talking shit. He's like, Americans don't understand soccer. You guys call it, or Americans don't understand football. You call it soccer. Kind of going in, but he's pretty funny about it.
Okay, basic, but yeah.
And he's like, where are you from? And I'm like, oh, I'm from. I live in L.A. and New York. Blah blah. I live in West Hollywood. He's like, I lived in West Hollywood for a little while.
Oh.
I was like, oh really? What on earth were you doing there? He was like, I was working.
Okay. I
was like, what the fuck? You're a barber, bro. What the fuck do you mean you're working? And then he's like, yeah, I was a Vici's barber.
Oh, okay.
So this guy, first of all, the barber shop is in a train station, which is really common here.
Okay.
It's nice and clean, though. It's not like, don't think New York subway. So I'm in this train station getting a haircut from this dude who's telling me about, I'm like, so what was the vibe? He was like, I mean, it was great, women, drugs, I did a lot of cocaine, you know what I mean? The whole thing. And then I'm like, well, why did you, I didn't want to be like, did you stop doing this because Avicii died? You know what I mean? And he was like, I just couldn't handle it anymore. So I told him I had to stop, and he bought me this barbershop.
Can't handle I mean, how much work are you really doing as Avicii's barber on a day-to-day basis?
I don't think it's the work that he couldn't handle anymore. I'm going to imagine it's the cocaine and
the
American women.
The traveling.
Yeah, exactly. The lifestyle. Having to go to Vegas every Friday on the private jet probably took it out of him. But yeah, so he and I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, Avicii was like, all right, if you're not going to work for me anymore, let me set you up.
Damn.
So he built this guy an American-style barbershop in a train station in Stockholm. Rest in peace to the god.
Damn. He was probably that was a very that's textbook Avicii first and foremost. But it's even more sad because you probably feel like he was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna kill myself in like a year or so. So let me hook my barber up and
I can spend
clean
100
up some loose ends here and there.
Yeah, I know it's sad, but yeah, it was a nice celebrity because I've also I've been talking to people here and I don't know if you know this, but Pharrell is married to a Swede.
I did not know that, but it makes I see that happening.
Part of the reason that celebrities love coming here is because culturally they will not approach you or talk to you.
Oh,
like Pharrell could be at like the hottest restaurant in town and no one is going to approach him or take a picture. That's like considered
no such thing as a stop and chat in Sweden.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And I was like, what do you mean? They're like, yeah, celebrities used to, there was like a period in I can't remember what decade it was, but where Stockholm became very popular for celebrities because the women were beautiful and they could come here and just kind of do whatever they wanted and no one would bother them.
Right. Like Thailand if you're fat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Thailand if you're fat and you like 16-year-olds. So yeah, I've been learning a lot, and this is probably my favorite place I've ever been. Honestly, like outside of
no way,
it's amazing, dude. I'm so pilled. It's like the people are beautiful, the streets are clean, the food is amazing, everything looks nice. It's incredible. It really is a special place. I had no idea.
Okay, well so you can't think of any downside.
I'm sure there's downsides. I mean, the people are not friendly, I would say. But like a country where a New York 9 is working at the 7-Eleven is a country I want to live in. You know what I'm saying? That's like
nice numerical iteration there. Very good.
Yeah, of course. No, it's just it's crazy. But no, I think the winter. I mean, it's obviously the middle of winter right now and it's cold, but like the sun's been out. It's a little bit of snow. It's just very, very pleasant. It's a very, very pleasant place.
Okay, so since it's a place where nobody would ever approach a stranger who might be a celebrity or somebody they know. So that means nobody has ever, or that you haven't had a listener of the podcast approach you yet to say like, oh, hey, I listened to How Long Gone Are You, Chris Black. That hasn't happened, obviously.
No.
Only for that pure reason of these.
Yeah. I'm like Pharrell.
For any other, okay.
Yeah.
But the question is, if this is maybe your favorite foreign destination that you've traveled to as of yet in your life, is there a situation where How Long Gone has enough steam over there to do a live show?
I think we could at least do Copenhagen and then just come over here for the weekend during the summer and take a dip in the lake. You know what I mean?
Okay. Is that like literally or metaphorically?
No, literally. The guys from the vintage store I was hanging out with were like, "Oh, bro, the summer."
Intersex.
Yeah, they're like, I'm like, "What do you mean the summer? What's up?" They're like, "Bro, you can just like, everybody like the attitude changes, like everybody loosens up and like is drinking outside, and you literally can end the night jumping in a lake, like in the city, which seems pretty amazing."
So it's just like Austin, Texas, but in Sweden. That's so cool.
Exactly. There's no breakfast tacos. Like I would advise against ordering the guacamole here, but and I don't know if there's a Dell kind of corporate headquarters here either, but I did. But I will say that drugs are apparently frowned upon, like heavily. Like if you smoke weed, you go to jail, kind of shit.
Ew.
I know. Drake got
rude.
Drake got arrested here for smoking gas.
Well, that was what PR wanted to spin it, but he did something more sinister than that.
No, yeah, definitely. He was definitely racing cars, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's been really something. I can't wait to come. I'm going to come back in the summer for sure. For sure.
Okay. Well, this is great news, Chris.
So I'm in Copenhagen. I'm in Stockholm. Jason is in LA. We're going all the way to Manhattan to speak with a friend of the show, known artist, baker, cat owner,
known artist,
and dater of very hot men, Chloe Wise.
I'm excited.
Who is joining us today to give us the ins and outs of what it's like to kind of sit alone a lot in a room and mix colors together, and kind of think about life. I think she's going to have a lot of insight for you, especially, Jason.
Yeah, I'm buckling up. I've got a cup of coffee here. I have a celery juice.
Yeah.
My mind is clean and ready to go. It's going to be a crazy one.
Okay.
Buckle up, listeners. Let's give Chloe a Zoom.
Buckle up.
And we're going to get into all of that and more.
Hey, I feel like I heard my name. Can I come in? Is this a cool time to?
Yeah, you can come in.
I feel like I've been waiting here. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Girl, get in here.
Oh, thanks.
Can you make a door opening sound, please? Just to kind of like a creak.
Was that?
You guys are both idiots.
Did I get that, or can I try that one more time?
You can run it back. Yeah.
We'll do one more for safety. I may have stepped on it.
Yeah, just another one. Okay. Do you want to count me in? This is door creak opening sound. Take 3.
Okay, you just said the word Korea there. Now you're having fun with it, and I like it.
I'm actually allowed because I'm in Koreatown, and if you let me finish, I would have said Koreatown. And why?
Oh, I see. You were just letting us know where you are, but we cut you off. We stepped on it again. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you coming to us live from the studio or your apartment, or are those two things one?
Those two things are one.
Oh, so you have a giant place then, a spacious Manhattan loft.
I have a giant place. One of those, as they say, a live/work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dope. Do you have walls, or is it like fully open concept?
No walls, actually no ceiling either. It's sort of
sick.
The whole city is my, my stage, my playground in a way. I kind of consider the parameters of all of Manhattan my studio. So yeah, it's big.
What do you do? What do you do when it rains? What do you do when it rains if you don't have a ceiling? Is everything cool or like?
What do the birds do when it rains, Chris?
I have a team that sort of handles that. A lot of umbrellas. If you can imagine, like kind of like the gorilla dance thing where they kind of enter from what seems to be staged left and right, but this is from north, south, east, west, all of New York, spinning umbrellas. Dun, 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 and
every time it rains, your team flash mobs your house, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah, my house, asterisk, New York, wherever my location is.
This is good.
Which is usually just right at the Empire State Building. Okay. And then a bunch of umbrellas come and they, I wouldn't say swaddle, but they make sure they create a boundary between the rain and me.
Like you were some type of terrorist or like drug lord, and whenever danger is around, a group of people surround you and take a bullet if need be.
Yeah, you could say that.
But the bullet is rain.
Yeah, it's rain. It's rain. The bullet is rain.
Do you think there's somebody out there who's so...
Are we recording? Let's take from the top.
We're actually just wrapping up right now.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for having me. I feel like we covered...
You're an absolute legend.
Everything I needed to sort of address, which is bullets are rain.
Are you here to talk about? Are you here to kind of air some stuff out? Are you feeling emotional? Like what are you trying to do today? It's your floor. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I do have a floor, no walls, but I do have a floor. I just wanted to address all of the rumors about Zach.
Yeah. I want to address the rumors and also the haters, of course. I kind of want to put you guys on blast.
Yeah,
right.
The comment section of your Architectural Digest tour has been a crime scene.
Yeah, it just seems like they're having a hard time, all of those haters, and I wanted just to reach out to them and say, I'm here. If you want anything, anything to be transparent or,
Selfless.
I can address all of those questions, and I'm here to answer.
I would say more like a say it to my face vibe is what you're giving, but sure, you can make it. You can paint it that way. Did you? Well, I mean, Jason brought up AD, so just a quick sidebar. Did you see Lily Allen and David Harbour's Cobble Hill home on AD this week?
Nope. I didn't.
Okay. Never mind. We can't cover it. It's a controversial style. So I wanted to see if you were gonna, as a homeowner.
What is the style? What's the controversy?
I would just say it's very, very maximal, like British, like every wallpaper is printed, every couch is a print, like everything is maximal, which we don't see a lot of.
We're talking floral. Are we talking like a brocade, a stripe?
Or the answer to that question, Chloe, is yes.
All kind of patterns. Yes, just yes to all of that. I'm literally sipping tea and looking out my window as I said that. So disingenuously, I'm like, good for them. Takes a sip of throat coke.
Good for them. That fucking bitch.
Are you singing tonight?
Yeah, probably.
It's like this in NYC every day.
Just that. Yeah, exactly. You never know where the city will take me, which room of my loft, which is, which bar I might end up at. Maybe I'll just sit at a piano and I guess unpack this.
You're going to need to.
I mean,
I imagine so.
You're going to need some time. You're going to need some time.
Chloe, have you ever had a goal to, or ever aspired to be on Architectural Digest giving a home tour?
Absolutely.
I think you would really deliver it.
Absolutely. I just wanted to say, hey, anybody at Architectural Digest, I'm here. I'm ready. I'm not mad that you haven't hit me up yet, but I am growing impatient. But yeah, hit me up.
They're following me, of course. They're following me. They're following Jason. They're listening to the show, so I'm sure they're gonna hear that.
Okay.
Do you consider yourself to be proud of your home interior design so far, Chloe?
Yeah, I certainly do. It also creates a lot of stress, which I think is really hard for me.
Go on.
Because it's I moved in a year ago, and it's a very bizarre layout.
Yeah.
It's an amazing space. I believe it used to be a photography studio. It clearly hasn't been touched since the 70s, except for the minor, tiny little renovations I've done, but I can't afford to do the actual renovations that it would need. So I'm just living in a very cool looking, bizarrely non-utilitarian kind of large, semi-open space.
Looks great. You're shitting in a bucket, though, aren't you?
I am shitting in a bucket. Exactly. which is a beautiful way of saying I don't get a lot of sunlight in my bedroom. That's what that expression means, right? Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. I didn't come onto this podcast to talk about my lack of natural light in my bedroom. That's what I will talk about on AD, which obviously I'm going to be.
Yeah, you gotta check in.
Pod to make sure that they
give it 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I have do not disturb on right now, obviously, but the second we wrap this one up, which I guess we're nearing the end at this point, I'll be taking to the ninth stage to talk about my lighting, my natural lighting. No, my place is great.
Can I ask you a question about do not disturb mode? Because I text people a lot, kind of for my social life as well as my professional life, and there's a lot of people that I get that do not disturb, thing on, but it seems like it's on all the time, which that diminishes the effect. I've never turned that on because I'm not a pussy. Can you explain what does that actually do?
I cannot explain because this is quite literally the first time I've ever used it. And I just thought, because I am very much new to Zoom, to headphones as a concept, as you may have realized, and the email I sent you yesterday, in which I was like, do I need what are headphones? So no, I don't know what do not disturb is. I thought it would be cute and appropriate. So, okay. Which is sort of the goal. That's sort of my aesthetic goal today. I'm trying to give cute and appropriate, so that the comments section on this will be like, it's giving, or it gave, or it was given, cute and appropriate. That being said, I have headphones, but do not disturb. I cannot explain to you.
Chloe, you're cute as a button, but you're anything but appropriate.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy.
Oh, jeez. Don't go 20s movie star on us this early in the show.
My suspenders in a bunch.
Oh, now you've done it. We were just talking about on the intro. Chris is over in Stockholm, and every building there, business, residential, you name it, has its own sauna in there. Does your building have one of those, perchance?
No, not yet. But I will be complaining next time. If I ever get invited to a board meeting, I will be complaining.
I was going to ask you, do you have a position? Do you have a position on the board? Are you the secretary or maybe the VP?
I certainly not. I think I'm the one that is looked upon with suspicion because I'm young to be in this building. Because there's only 10 units and everyone's been here for quite a while.
Okay.
Have you made any friends? Have you made any friends with your neighbors? Maybe they like your paintings or something?
I don't know if they do or don't, but I'm going to assume they do because that's how I'm going to get through the day. That's what I assume about everybody. That's my coping mechanism. So let's just say they all love my paintings and my personality. But no, I did make friends with an amazing neighbor who's been in this building since 1975, which is so cool and crazy. And when I first moved in, I moved in around Christmas time, a thing I don't celebrate or partake in that heavily.
As a known Jew, you don't
As a
participate.
known Semite, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Although my research this past Christmas did illuminate a lot of the life of one Jesus Christ, Steen, who was obviously a known Jew. We can get to that.
We will.
That's a whole nother podcast, but yeah, go ahead.
That's a whole other, yeah. That's like the side, like the Patreon episode where we just unpack Jesus' life. If you want, we can do that. I have time. But I did make friends with a neighbor of mine who is 82, so freaking cool, has lived here since the 70s. He invited me into his unit because I got locked out of mine in nothing but Ugg slippers and a t-shirt because, long story, I was answering a Craigslist. I had put a Craigslist ad out giving away some of my packing stuff. Somebody came, I locked myself out. I didn't have a handle on the door situation, pardon the pun. And this neighbor came to my side. He came and saved me, brought me into his very cool loft that also hasn't changed since the 70s, and told me all about the history of how New York has changed.
Oh, I bet.
Which I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard that before, but apparently it has.
Katz's used to not have such a long line, et cetera, et cetera.
That's the main takeaway I took from that from that interaction. But yeah, so it's corroborated.
Yeah, it's nice because when you have an 82-year-old person invite you to into their home, it's not as suspicious or as dangerous as maybe like a 23-year-old TikToker who's like, oh yeah, you can come in and have a kin euphoric, and you're like,
yeah. I mean, I did a similar thing when I invited him in. I was like, do you want a LaCroix, lime, or a pamplemousse? Obviously, knowing that I want to give the guests lime and keep the pamplemousse for myself.
Yeah.
Also, just want to make a footnote there. I was just being very generous by pronouncing those words in an American accent when I very much could have pronounced it in a French way. So, just wanted to point out how down to earth.
Let me French or French Canadian?
French Canadian.
Sort of a beautiful blend, like an international school-esque blend of both. But I am from French Canada.
Montreal is not international school. Let's keep it 100.
I know that, but I have kind of dulled down the spiky edges of that accent by being a citizen of the world, and I pretentiously got rid of that accent. It's gone. I also just I'm American as well. So I never really fully had that the Quebecois accent, but I can turn it on when I need to.
Did you go to like high school in Montreal?
Yeah, I went to University of Montreal too. I only moved here 10 years ago.
Oh, did you go to McGill, eh?
Oh no, my dad did though. I went to Concordia. Although we're doing Fargo accent, I don't know why.
That's right, because Canada is Fargo to us, and I just want to make that very clear. But Montreal, I've been there a lot.
And to me, I've actually never been there. Never been to Canada.
I've been there a lot, and I think it's one of the worst places, maybe. Do you have that same feeling, or do you have a warm feeling in your heart for it? I'm sorry. It's tough.
I actually want to thank you for that honesty, Chris. So don't worry about being completely rude to my native country. I totally understand. It is cold.
No, I love your country. I don't love
of heart.
I'm sure you did plenty of coke at nightclubs when you were 16, and I'm sure you had a great time. But like when it was time to go, you came to where it was better. I just want to point that out.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. You read my memoir, I guess. Yeah, I did leave the second I was of age to do so. 13. No, I moved after college. My mom's from Detroit, so I have American citizenship.
Oh, you're okay. You really are dual. All right. You're living the dream.
Yeah, I'm bi. Yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah.
You're
a round the way chick too. I mean, did you spend any time in Detroit?
No.
Is your mom kind of like a badass mama?
Totally. Oh my God. Shout out to my badass mama, who I'm sure is not listening to this, but if I sent her a link, she would spend about 2 days trying to figure out how to click on it.
Podcasts haven't got to Michigan yet.
No. Well, she doesn't live in Michigan, but podcasts haven't gotten
to my mom. Do they live in Florida?
They are in Florida most of the time. Yeah. They're between Montreal and Boca Raton. Unsurprisingly, yeah.
This is a classic snowbird Canadian situation.
Yeah, just to clarify, I am Jewish and Canadian. So, yeah.
Don't worry. We weren't clear on that. So thank you for letting us know.
All the pieces of the puzzle are fitting in together perfectly. At what age?
Just for your listeners.
Chloe, at what age do you plan on eventually settling down in Florida?
in Boca.
Well, not retiring, but specifically in Florida.
Right. Retiring in Florida. 37, 38.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I plan on getting very tan, and I probably will not have a hard time fitting in with the tan, wrinkly, and octogenarian inhabitants of the home. The retirement.
You're
home.
About to be a leathery ass bitch.
Yeah. Oh my God, I cannot wait.
Do you go to Boca often? I feel like I would if I were you.
In fact, I was there yesterday. I got back yesterday morning from a 24-hour visit to see my folks.
24 hours? What the fuck?
24 hours is a little.
It's short. I know,
Who do you
it's
think
short.
who do you think you are, Chloe?
I know it's rude. It's rude. I know it's rude. It's a long story, but I'm going to go back very soon.
What's the name of the private jet pilot?
Yeah, it's private jet blue. I did have a middle seat, so
Damn, it's like Twitter blue. Private jet blue is an interesting plan. I'll expand on
private
that
jet
later.
blue check.
So you took JetBlue down to Boca for one day. Was it even warm enough to get in the pool or
Yes,
the ocean?
It sure was. Yeah, and I have a tiny little tan to prove it, and it was really nice to see my parents.
Now you're boasting, and I'm sure they were happy to
I'm
see
boasting both like the shade of like only a tiny bit of tan that I did get, and being a nice-ish daughter, nice enough to spend 24 hours there. So we can move on from that, but
Just a few more questions. When you went for dinner with your parents,
which Cheesecake Factory location did I go to? Is that
did you hit Cheesies?
We went to something that feels like
Cheesies.
Cheese back. Old cheese back.
Is that an original, Jason?
That was right off the dome. I don't know how I
Wow.
did it.
Damn, nobody does it. Nobody does it like TJ. I tell
Hold
you
for
what.
applause.
Okay, sorry,
That
Chloe.
was really, yeah, I just need to bask in that. Cheesies. That's powerful.
Mhm.
We went to something called Matteo's Italian Bistro. It's the kind of restaurant that has, like the name of the restaurant probably recently changed into all lowercase.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
projected onto the floor
Oh.
at the entrance. Like it's sort of like an Olive Garden elevated so that, all of the patrons, which are all grandparents / my parents, which are grandparents age, saying to their visiting nieces, nephews, granddaughters, etc. Like, no, this is nicer than Olive Garden. No, this is not that.
Yeah.
This is not
You
that.
got it all wrong.
And it was really good. It was really good, but it was not. There's anything wrong with that kind of Italo-American, like family style, large portion. I love that,
Mhm.
and it was very that.
Yeah, you really strike me as
That's all we want.
you really strike me as a large portion gal. That's really what's coming
Thank
across.
you.
That's
you.
really what did you get there though? A simple like caprese and a pasta? Was it a pizza? Was it a chop? Like what are we looking at?
There was a chopped. You got it. There was a chopped that had quite literally like salami or pepperoncini or something cut up into squares.
Cubed
And
is
the
what we
cheese
call that.
pre-sliced
That's
into
what we
squares.
call it, cubed in the
Yeah,
business.
cubed. It was a
like a
cubed.
three-dimensional square.
Yeah, it was a cubist sort of chopped.
Okay.
And 3 kinds of pasta because I love the idea of splitting pasta as a mid, sort of like between the appetizer and the main.
Okay.
Why don't we just get a dish of pasta? We all get a couple bites. The guy, the waiter looked at me like I was crazy. And he was right because the portions are so big that even a small could probably feed, a family of, well, maybe 3 or 4 families. And so we got an orecchiette with rapini and sausage, which I love.
Okay.
But it
A
wasn't.
classic pairing.
Yeah. And like a vodka pasta and a seafood pasta and a chicken parm. And I can tell you the doggy bag of stuff we took home was too heavy for my parents to carry at their age. So I'm so glad. I just really wanted to come on here and talk about the weird meal I had in Boca. I was just so hoping that.
It's not that weird.
Thank you for just hearing me.
This makes me want to get back to America.
People love to hear the little minutia of things like this. It's calming and soothing.
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
a personality. That's what they want to hear.
Yeah, and I have been told I'm really calming.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah.
Thank
Big
you.
portion and calming.
Well, I'll have to make you calming in post, of course. But
How are you going to do that? Are you going to accompany my voice with maybe like bird sounds or rain?
He's gonna
Rain sounds?
chop and screw.
I've been capturing a lot of field recordings throughout the week just to get ready for you. No, it's fine. I have technology for it.
I don't mean to
appreciate
pull
that.
the curtain. I don't mean to pull the curtain back on your glamorous lifestyle, Chloe. I do apologize because it does look good.
Oh,
When I see you, it's always in some sort of event where you look great and you're feeling great. And I'm looking okay and feeling okay. But I just people need to know that you're just a regular chick. You go hang out with your parents.
yeah, that I did have a middle seat on a flight yesterday. I did. And I think it's important that everyone knows that.
I'll say this: if I saw you on a JetBlue flight in a middle seat, I would do you a favor and ignore you.
Oh, That's honestly, wow. I
You know what I
appreciate
mean?
that.
That's nice, right?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. That would be, yeah,
A courtesy ignore.
yeah. Wouldn't put that on blast. What about if I had an aisle seat?
Uh,
Would you high five? Or like
if
a
you were
props,
in
maybe?
if you were in Comfort Plus, I would come back and give you something. You know what I mean? Like give you a
Okay.
ginger ale or like
What if I was exit row, which I was?
oh, egg.
Would you be like, okay, it's middle seat, but it is roomy leg room?
Oh, burying the lead. Okay, you know that does cost
Yeah, you're
more.
changing your story. You paid extra for that seat.
I didn't. I just didn't choose a seat, which I've never done before. I was just like, fuck it. I don't care. I was just living
You're
dangerously.
insane. I like this.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah, I was just trying something new.
This is
Spicing it up.
cool.
Like, let's just leave it to chance and see what happens. And that's what happened. And look, this is really it was tough. It was hardships that I will have to process while I'm singing at the piano at Carlisle tonight about my JetBlue flight. No, I'm cheap when it comes to flights. I don't like paying for brief comfort that isn't comfortable. Unless like I'm never going to pay for business class. I'm just not going to do it. Sorry to ruin the idea.
I wish I had the same. I wish I lived like you. It would be better for me. But unfortunately, because of my size and stature, I really need to kind of lay down fully so that my shoulders are being squeezed between two pieces of plastic like a grape between your fingers.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, they did do surgery on a grape. I have two things to say to that. One, if you want to be more like me in terms of travel, you can convert to Judaism. And I think part of that just naturally, you just become frugal about things like this.
Okay. I've heard that. Okay. I've heard that.
Yeah. It is true. It is true.
Okay.
I thought this was going to involve a kosher meal or something, but this went a whole other way.
Yeah, whole other way.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Well, Chloe, what ways in your life do you get your splurge on then?
Produce.
Beautiful answer.
Love a nice produce. Like I was doing Natura for a second during the pandemic.
Who is she?
Natura, that's an app for getting farmers market local produce at a very fucking crazy price. I once ended up with about $80 of puntarella, which is so hard to deal with. Like you have to like.
It's dirty.
I don't want to get into the difficult things I had to do to that.
The manipulation of it.
Yeah, so much work. But that, and then what else do I?
Slippers?
I don't know. I'm not that paint. I love my paint. I got to get real nice paint. Slippers are just UGG. Nothing fancy there. What's
the paint brand? What's the Hermes of paints?
The paint. Okay. Shout out to the paint brand, Canadian from Montreal. Everyone needs to know. Everyone that dabbles in oil paint needs to know this is an incredible brand, Cama pigment. They are handmade, I think, with walnut oil, which is less toxic and also so beautiful to work with. Gorge colors. Very incredible. So that's my shout out. That's my promotional.
And they don't give you any money or give you flow. You're not on flow team.
No, and I wouldn't want them to give me anything for free or anything because I want to support them since they're in Montreal and I don't think they're as well known as some of these bigger,
beautiful,
commercially farmed paints. This is a boutique bespoke paint brand.
Grass fed
paint that I just adore. I have to just point something out. I just came about 40 minutes ago home from briefly visiting Keen's Steakhouse because dear friend of the pod, aspiring friend of your pod, Eric Wareheim, good friend of mine, best friend of mine, is having I don't want to give away too much, but he does have a book coming out and he is eating at multiple locations around town / the country.
American steakhouses.
For this book. Exactly. Okay, so this is...
Didn't he just have a book come out? Can this guy slow the fuck down? Jesus, leave some books for the rest of us.
You can't stop or slow genius. You can't ask him to do that. But I wanted to bring a message from Eric.
Okay.
He says that, hi.
Okay.
And he also says that, Jason,
you
are so very tall. And because he's a very tall man, as you know, he's a 6'7". The fact that you are taller than him, in his words, makes him want to be held, swaddled, comforted. He yearns for that. And he feels as though, if I may interpret his words, you should reach out to him and hug him. He wants to hug you. He wants to be held. He wants to look up into your eyes and feel normal height. And I think, if I may, you would probably love hugging that man. He's super huggable. So
have you hugged him before? Have you hugged him before?
Well, we've hugged and embraced multiple times over the years.
Okay,
but I think this is sort of his way of.
How long of an embrace are we talking?
35 seconds.
30 seconds is an eternity, Jason. I don't think that's true.
Oh, that's long.
I don't think that could be
seconds.
true.
Oh my!
There's a little bit of a lower back. Well, because whenever we hug, it's always a strange
lower back. What was
There's a little rub. Circular, counterclockwise. He likes it that way.
I was actually going to ask which direction.
But he always, it's a thing. I think I remember the very first time I met him a long time ago, and he was just like, wow, you're tall. And then he was asking me like fitness tips and advice, and then like clothing advice. He had all these questions for me. And I was like, oh, wow, this is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, the big and tall male community needs to share resources. And I know I'm not part of that community, but I am an ally.
Well, that's the problem is the resources. It's so scarce, the resources, that I don't want to share them because I did have to do the work myself. And I don't want to just give away all the answers to someone willy-nilly,
Wow. Okay. I get that. You're seeing.
Not that Eric is willy-nilly.
Yeah, exactly. That was my next. I think that you should redefine willy-nilly when it comes to sharing your big and tall resources. I think it's totally, your choice. You're being invited to step into that kind of sharing. And you guys should talk about pants and hug. That's all. I would love to be there.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's between you. But I did just meet him at Keen's at literally noon for steak. And which was great. I didn't have any steak, but I did look at it.
You didn't have any steak. You just went for the fellowship, or did you have a piece of fish and some onion rings or something?
Well, I had some shrimp from the shrimp cocktail. I had some of the iceberg wedge. Love that. Some of the bacon.
Oh yeah.
Sip of red wine way too early in the day. Put that glass down. It was literally at noon. And then I was like, I got to go back because I got to go pod. And that's when he was like, oh, you have to share this message. And I said,
it's so funny because I just rushed here from dinner as well. I rushed here to pod from dinner as well.
And so you're in Stockholm?
Yeah, I'm in Stockholm. Yeah.
Did you have a bunch of little tiny shrimp on a piece of bread?
No, I had a delicious thing that I'd never had before.
Those little shrimp really creep me out.
Yeah, they're creepy.
What was it called, Jason? What I had?
He had a langoustine, I believe.
Ooh.
If my context clues are correct.
So a big shrimp.
Yeah, it was delicious though. I'd never had. There was some sort of sauce on top of it, but I didn't have.
I believe in Swedish it's en storrakar.
See, I told you, Chris.
Surprise! I casually speak a little svenska.
Have you been here before?
Well, of course. Love it.
The guys are hot.
Oh, I know. They really, really are. Shout out to Scandinavians.
I was telling Jason,
I
was saying this before. It's
all hot.
I literally went to the 7-Eleven and there's like a 9 working at the 7-Eleven. And it's just like, it's kind of, it's confounding.
Well, they have 7 to 11 that work there. That's
what it means. Oh,
there's a 9-year-old working there?
Yeah.
No, 7 to 11 in numbers.
No, he means the rating system in terms of rating people based on their appearance.
I don't use that system anymore.
Okay. So you're like a 0-1.
Yeah. He's a binary guy. He's a binary cat.
Okay, so you're more non-binary. That's what that means. Calling someone a 9 is actually non-binary.
I guess technically I'm non-binary in this situation, which is a first for me.
Wow, yeah.
Okay, so Chris, Chris is a Swedish 4. Would we say that, Chris?
Oh, barely a 4. Like these guys are. I mean, they're all in shape, and when I was getting my hair cut by Avicii's former barber, he was telling me that guys here like to.
Chloe's like, oh, how is Fred doing?
Yeah, exactly. How is Johannes?
He's so fun. So
everyone there is a hot dad. It's crazy.
Yeah, he was telling me that guys here like to have long hair because they think it makes them like look rich.
Rich.
Yeah, because all of the rich, I mean, it's define rich in Scandinavia because they have more of like a socialist situation there where being rich just means, being okay and having your stuff because you can't it's like a looked down upon or frowned upon to have exorbitant amounts of wealth because they have a whole good way of existing where they want everyone to have stuff, and so they want it to be more equally distributed.
My friend I met today was explaining to me, he's like, yeah, there's people here that are so rich and they won't, like, if they go shopping, they either do it out of town or they make them deliver it to their house later, so they're not seen walking through the store or on the street with bags.
Wow, yeah, it's an anti-flex sort of civilization. It's there's a word for it.
No flex zone, as
it's
they say.
It's a no flex zone. Exactly. That's the word I was looking for. It's just like it's I might say just actually very cool.
I think it's cool. There's a lot of Swedish words for things like that, right? Like living,
Jentaloven,
minimally and
Jentaloven is the rules of the law of Jenta, which I believe was written. I think it's like
it's giving Jewish, that word.
Yeah, I think the way I said it sounds like it. Yeah, Jenta. It means that you must love a Jew. Jentaloven. No, it's like a law that basically says like 10 laws for living that are essentially, it's like a philosophy or ideology that essentially amount to don't stick out more than anybody else or you'll be looked upon with suspicion. Don't try to stand up, but everything that you do should be for the team or the group or the us. Don't be individualistic. Like don't be American, essentially.
We live those laws.
Don't ever get fat and don't be American.
We live those laws at How Long Gone, Jason. Like we do that. We were about the team. None of it I think we kind of do that here in our business, but not in my regular life because, I mean, it's hard not to stunt sometimes, Chloe.
Okay, so when you're podcasting, you're sort of living to the standards or ideology of sort of sharing and community and socialist sort of like a granola.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe even a Marxist. I take away the granola. Maybe you eat granola, but you're kind of giving Marxism on the pod. But then in your normal life, it's more of like an individualistic, like every man for him, every they for themselves kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, so exactly. It's like a pod specific.
Yeah, it's pod specific because
politics.
Okay. We try to. That's something we try to do and kind of share with other podcasts.
Why not be both?
Yeah, and encourage them to do it as well because some of these guys are getting crazy out here.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Chloe, are you still kicked out of Instagram?
No. Oh my gosh, I was kicked out. Thank you for noticing, remembering.
Yeah.
And bringing up this brief
what happened?
trauma.
Did you get kicked off the gram?
I wish it was for something cool. I wish I got kicked off for being badly behaved or maybe even spreading some like government leaked information or something. But no, I simply was.
It's either COVID or titty. Usually,
it was neither. I just was
COVID
robbed.
or titty.
Yeah, I wrote that COVID's fake, bitches, on my tit, and I posted a picture that said also free the nipple and Fauci can go take a hike or something. It was the year 2020.
That'll do it, Chloe.
Yeah, and that's what did it. No, I just got robbed in Basel, Switzerland, of all places, and I lost all my stuff, and including my phone, including my wallet, etc. And so I tried to log in on my iPad to my Instagram to try to sort of connect or communicate with anybody to try to find things. And I didn't know my password, and I tried so many times, and it kept trying to do the two-step, the horrific injustice of two-step verification or authentication. Mm-hmm. That shit's so annoying. Mm-hmm. And it was, believe me.
Preach, sis.
Also, my Adderall was in that bag that was stolen. So I was without a wallet, without Adderall, without a phone, unable to get into Instagram.
You seem to have found the Adderall. This is
the summer. So there was a whole week where I was without Adderall, without phone, without moisturizer. And it was hard for me. And it made me a better person, stronger.
It just gives you perspective.
Yeah, I got a lot of perspective of what it was like to not have Instagram. And I was like, I don't need this. This is great. I actually really liked not having it. I had this sort of like
you're a liar.
No. I felt amazing. I would look at my boyfriend and be like, you like that? Scrolling? How's it feel? I haven't done it in days. Oh, cool. That must be fun for you. Okay. I'm looking at the beautiful vista of nature. I'm actually picking vegetables. Vista. I was at the time because then we went to the south of France. And I was like, I also didn't have Adderall, so I couldn't do anything. I was stare blankly into nature. But I did feel I was trying to act like it was on purpose and trying to imagine a world where I'm that kind of person that takes a break.
So you were in the south of France with your man, your beautiful man, and you didn't have a phone or you. Mm-hmm. So you had no phone, no wallet. And you were able to, no Adderall, no moisturizer. Okay, so you got crow's feet, you got nothing done. Like, this is tough. I'm impressed with you. I'm impressed that you made it out because you look good. You sound.
Thank you.
But if you're going to be anywhere without Adderall, the south of France is a pretty relaxing place, I guess, right?
Yeah, I was there doing a 5-day residency. It was really short. And I basically walked to the farmer's market, got a bunch of gorge produce, came back up, did some doodles, did my silly little drawings and doodles, stared blankly into the abyss, the beautiful blue abyss of the Côte d'Azur, and kind of whined. I whined a fuck ton. I just whined and whined. And I actually at a certain point, I gave up. I was like, this is horrible. I actually need a phone or something. I need something to work.
Yeah.
Please take me to the local appliance store, like the Metro PCS.
You guys got Verizon?
I need electronique.
They know. It's a tiny little town. You know what I bought? There was no Apple store anywhere nearby. I made my boyfriend buy me the U2 red phone. That's the only iPhone they had.
You got the red edition?
So,
you can't write this.
The red. And I was just so mad about it, but also for some reason it felt like the right thing to do. And it was so expensive and stupid. And then I had to get a temporary French number, et cetera, et cetera. And after like 3 days when we left and I was going to Paris or wherever I was going, I was like, damn, I really could have just waited and got a phone at the Apple store. But I have this stupid red YouTube phone that like doesn't work.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when I speak badly about it, I'm like, wow, so I really hate giving back to charity. Like I have to support, you got to support Bono in his endeavor there. So
we like charity, but we don't want Bono to be involved.
I don't want that,
Well, guys, the problem is that Bono being the face of Red, unfortunately means that no one knows what Red actually stands for or does. Like people don't even give it a chance. I do know it's in
brackets.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's bad, like 90s graphic design, but no one knows its actual function. So it makes it hard.
Well, maybe it's destined for a comeback aesthetically because it is bad 90s graphic design, but I could see like brackets red, like times diesel.
For sure.
Yeah.
Activation.
I can see that too. That's a good call.
Maybe can we just cut that whole thing? I'm just going to rewrite that. I bought a U2 red phone and I actually love it. So
it's so cool.
I think it's going to be a thing.
I love the aesthetic, sleek. Love the color red in general.
Powerful.
And it's really powerful. I love, scrolling, and every scroll that I scroll is helping to cure.
No one knows.
What's red for again?
That's my point. No one knows.
Nobody knows,
but I know it's helping something, and that's what matters.
I would love to just see you like walking in, like stranded in the middle of nowhere in a foreign country, and you go into some little like, do you have a phone? Like, we have this red iPhone, and you're like, and you have the Larry David moment where you kind of look and you refuse, like, no, I'm just gonna write somebody a letter and say that I'm stuck in France.
2 minutes later, I turn around. I walk back in there. I'm like, all right, give me the red.
I'll take it. If this is all you got, I'll fucking take it.
So I have it in a drawer somewhere because almost immediately after, I ended up having a friend mail me my old phone and my Adderall.
Oh.
By mail, I mean,
what a package.
Bring in his bag, because he was coming to Paris, and I met him on a street corner for the sketchy drug deal that saved my life, iPhone and Adderall. And I will say I'm a bigger person after that ordeal. It was about 7 days.
That's
no
loco.
phone, no Adderall.
What? Well, really quick, what happens to you when you haven't had Adderall for a week?
Well, I am kooky.
Yes.
Fun-loving, playful, annoying, so annoying. And I'm just distracted. I have ADD, and like the first few days off of it, I'm sleepy. I'm taking naps. I'm a little napster.
Okay.
I'm taking naps during conversations. I'm taking naps anywhere. I'm just sprawled out, just face down on the ground, nap.
You lose all your mojo's gone.
And then it comes in random spurts where I'm hyper and I'm silly, and it's not the right time for it or whatever. But then after a couple of days without it, I kind of get my bearings, and I can paint or do things I like to do. But things I don't want to concentrate on, it would be very difficult for me to sort of focus on. Obviously, that's what attention deficit is. But when I'm on it, I'm woo. I'm let's go.
When did you start taking this?
When I moved to New York, I wasn't diagnosed as a Canadian youth. I realized that there was something up with my ability to concentrate when I first moved to New York, because I had graduated, but I still wanted to read and apply myself to intellectual matters. And I would find myself so antsy in my pantsy. And my thoughts would interrupt themselves. I mean, I don't have to define ADHD. I'm sure you know the the deal. And then I started taking it when I was like 22. So I do know a life before it.
Damn.
And I can say I prefer life with it.
You're better off.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if I should have
of course.
when I was a youngster, how my life would have changed.
You probably wouldn't have grown to 6'10".
You need it now. You need it now, bro. You can't focus for shit.
I know, it's true. But is it too late at this point?
What do you do when you can't focus? I feel like if you live in LA,
Smoke weed. He smokes weed.
Nootropics shit.
He smokes weed instead. Goes the other way.
Wow.
I know. He's a bad boy.
I smoke weed, do the dishes, stuff like that.
Hope you censor this. I want this to be family friendly. You do the dishes to
Yeah, if I feel like I can't concentrate on doing the job in front of me, I'll do responsible chores around the house instead of like watching TV or something, which will put you in a little bit of a guilt spiral.
Okay, wow.
Is that a wow?
That's amazing. Yeah, what do you mean is it a wow? That is one of the more wow worthy things I've ever heard.
Oh, thank you.
I guess I start cooking when I can't focus, which is wow as well. But I also start singing to my cats, or I don't know, like spirals researching something so unnecessary on Reddit or something.
Checking the weather. That's what a lot of anxious olds do as well.
Yeah, I'd love to refresh the app.
How many times can you check this?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Refreshing the weather.
Looks like we got a storm coming in. Yeah.
Okay, mine's really different than that. Yours is wow.
Might get a little chilly tomorrow.
He's very dad.
Yeah.
Just walk around telling people what it might be like tomorrow when you can't focus.
Allegedly.
Like, I can't finish this chapter. I'm just gonna go outside and yell at strangers that it's might get a little chilly later on around 4.
Mm-hmm.
Get a sweater.
I wouldn't be outside at 4. Well, I also do cooking when I'm feeling like that, and I was trying to figure out why, or like whatever the science or mechanics behind it. And I was thinking like I need to like do something successfully that has like a bunch of steps to it, you know, like putting a Lego thing together or something like that. Like,
that
I just have to like have a W,
a thing that has a beginning and an end that you will probably succeed in, that you can actually, taste the fruits of. I mean, also sharing it with somebody where I'm like, banana bread's ready. Like,
I did a thing.
Sourdough banana bread is ready. That is a thing. But I mean, I got into really elaborate multi-step, especially when I'm having I can't concentrate moment.
Mm-hmm.
It gets so much more multi-level for no reason, and I get to then congratulate myself by feeding it to somebody.
Hey babe, the Peking duck is ready.
Exactly.
I've been working on it for 48 hours.
And it's like, I thought you had a deadline. Yeah, exactly. I did. I made this instead.
I want to talk about your baking though, because I've seen some of your culinary arts on the timeline. I've never gotten to taste any of your work, but what is your go-to bread style? Because I know that you lean into the baking.
I've leaned into the sourdough. Thank you so much. I feel so seen. It's the focaccia. It is the focaccia that is my main baking accomplishment that I'm proud of, that I have gotten, I might say, very good at. And you are welcome to come try some.
Okay.
I love to make it, love to feed it.
What do you serve it with? Just some salt and olive oil?
It doesn't need more than just a little. Exactly. It doesn't need more than just a beautifully room temp butter in a very cute buttered dish. A cute olive oil in a little drizzling or pooling it all over and just dipping it right into there, because it's real good because there's oil in the dough.
Okay.
So it's just so good. Like, it's really oily, and salt. That's it. But it can be good. I mean, I've been making sandwiches. with it that are so good.
There's a good sandwich place here in LA called Breadhead, and they make their own focaccia every day, and they do a BLT on it. I tell you what, it'll knock your socks off.
A BLT is so good on focaccia. I do hate that it's called Breadhead. No offense, I'm sure it's amazing, but I hate like cute bakery culture outside of Scandinavia, where it's just incredible and perfect. But I don't know.
It's almost impossible to avoid nowadays, isn't it?
I know. That's why one thing I love about baking is that I don't have to do it. I just bake at home, and it's so good, and it feels so healthy. It is because you're using it with sourdough. I'm no expert, but I mean, making my own sourdough with the water that's in my house and the bacteria on my grubby little fingers.
Yeah.
It's like the regularity of it. I feel like my body is, thank you. It's not like, whose is this, Breadhead? Or is it like breadbitches.org or whatever.
So yeah, so it's completing the ecosystem of the bacteria in your house and in your body, and you eat it.
Yeah.
You're eating your
The
shit,
cat hair
and you're
on my
shitting your
hands.
eat. It's all there.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But I do love to do it. I think it's also, I think it's an ADD thing. I like to learn something new, get good at it, do it where it has steps that can finish, because I think unlike painting never really finish. I mean, it can finish, but it's not obviously finite. You can always go back and keep working on something, and it can sort of like take place over the course of the day or in the middle of the night. But I like that there's some sort of structure to cooking and baking, that like it's open-ended. Like you can leave it for a few more hours here or there and get a different outcome. But I do like the structure of having to finish something.
At a certain point, you're gonna have to land the plane.
Exactly. And that's what I say every time I take a bite. I'm like, land in the plane, here we go.
Yeah.
Airplane. Woo.
Yummy.
Yeah, I like
That's
to be-
nice.
Okay, when you go out of town, let's say you're going to go to Los Angeles for Freeze Freeze Art Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to feed your sourdough starter?
Oh, I don't. It's just in the fridge.
You ever think about that?
It's just in. Thank you. So honestly, you're so thoughtful and it's so considerate. I feel like not enough of my friends ask me how my starter is doing, if it's been fed, if he's been fed.
So it is a gender reveal.
Gender reveal. My sourdough starter. His name is Greg. No. I just leave it in the fridge. Like it's so not a big deal. You don't have to feed it every day.
It's just not even a big deal. It's just NBD.
It's not a big deal. NBD. I'm the chill kind of baker.
I was hoping that you would travel with her. Him.
Wow. Him.
Greg gets a middle seat.
Yeah, he gets a middle seat. I could travel with him. When I come to LA, I could easily bring you guys some if you would like to embark on a sourdough journey with a little bit of my starter.
I would love some actually.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like, where do you at? You got to ask somebody for the starter, and I don't want to just walk into the bread bitches.
It's too intimate. Well, you can. I walked into C&B when my starter wasn't doing well when I used to live on in the East Village or Alphabet City, and they gave me like a bubbling cup of it.
Really?
Got on my little bicycle that I used to have and biked back home and did it. And then later that day I came over to them and I was like, I loved this feeling of like having a local bakery, like that, feeling of neighborhoodness, which I do not have now that I live in K-Town. Not the K-Town of it, but the midtown of it all is very neighborhoodless.
Sure.
Neighborhoodlessness. But yeah, you can totally go ask. They'll think it's charming if you do. But you can ask if you ask a friend or something, I feel like it's too intimate.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, you have some of that sourdough. And then you just like imagine like Patrick Swayze ghost, like arms around you, helping you mix it from behind and
the good stuff.
Yeah, which is what I'm offering.
And then it's never really your bread. It's y'all's bread together.
Well, that's not, I guess you could say that all bread is y'all's bread at that point.
Damn, don't do that. Now my third eye's open.
That's also that's the indie bake shop I'm opening. It's called All's Bread's Y'all's Bread. I hate this. Okay, next question.
It's a little wordy, but I love it. I'm obsessed.
Next segment.
So you are coming to LA for Freeze, you say?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Okay. Where do you normally stay when you come out here?
I don't know. It depends. The Addition.
Oh, okay.
Friend of the pod.
Yeah, actually, yes.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah,
friend of the pod.
Yeah, but this time I don't know. So I will figure it out. I'm Sagittarius and I do not plan in advance ever. So I'll just figure it out probably the day of.
Well, while we have you and you're coming to LA, I didn't want to put you on the spot, but Jason and I are kind of looking to commission for a very low price, kind of a portrait. In the Chloe Wise.
Oh, I can definitely show you in the direction of the Venice Beach. Portrait caricaturist.
We were looking for something.
I believe it's West.
Do you represent any of the Venice artists?
Yeah. Represent in the way where, like you stand on a stage and go like, I representing. Like this is for my portrait artist.
I was thinking something because I've seen some of the work you've done of people I know, and I do like that. I think it's cool. But I think that someone like Jason and I, we have this kind of business, things are really starting to happen for us with this podcast. So you would kind of be getting in on the ground floor as the first fine artist to kind of be able to paint us.
Wow.
So it was just something I wanted to.
We'll totally put a picture up on the website.
Oh, you would do that? Would you describe it on the audio based medium of pod? Would you describe?
Yeah.
Sort of, okay.
But what I'm saying is if you're coming to LA and you're coming for Freeze, I'm sure you don't have that much going on. So we could sit for it, kind of old school style. Because I know.
Would I have to pay for this? Would I have to sort of Like, what's your rate?
We could cover. We would be willing.
What's
we
our
would
rate?
be willing. We would be willing to cover materials and transportation, obviously. And lunch would be
Okay,
lunch
I
would be
do
catered.
need an XL crayon box.
Okay. We could do excellent.
From what's that place I want the catering from? Earth Cafe?
Okay, we can do
Is that
Earth.
the graceful? I am grateful. Graceful.
Yeah.
No.
What
no,
are you
that's
grateful
different.
for?
No.
This opportunity to paint us.
Yeah, I just think.
What
that
are you
this-
grateful for? This opportunity. When are you grateful for it? Next
Now.
week. Now.
I think because Chloe, you're doing really well, and I love to see like your career blossoming and how well you're doing. It's inspiring. But I think that
You're blowing up.
we could help kind of just introduce you to a new market. That's all I'm saying. If you take it or leave it, there's no pressure. No pressure.
a new worse market.
This is so generous of you, so big of you. I don't even know how to begin. First of all, I'm grateful now. I am grateful now. And wow. I mean, I'd be honored to spend the majority of my trip at Freeze
Exactly.
gazing at you over a beautiful pack of freshly opened crayons and Earth Cafe kale bowl.
I know you usually use paint, and you're trying to kind of sub us by saying you'll use crayons. But I actually think it could be a nice experiment for you and us. So I'm not even going to take that negatively.
Okay.
So don't try that bull crap with me.
No. Traveling with paint is
Oh yeah, traveling with paint is tough. That's right.
traveling with paint is tough, but I could bring a little to go, maybe like those little ketchup kind of cups that you pump into.
Yeah.
That's going to
Wendy's
be your
style.
collaboration with your favorite Canadian paint company. You're going to be like, guys, what if you did this?
Kama times Heinz.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I see something here. This is good. Yeah. Okay. And I can get a little travel sort of maybe like I could affix an easel to a razor scooter.
No. You don't have to do all this.
I could sort of bring it.
You don't have to do all this, Chloe. We'll buy the materials. I want you to you'll show up to Jason's beautiful studio, which is a garage in Glendale, and we'll kind of just get you going. We'll get you set up there. It's not a problem.
Okay, and I can paint you like one of my French Canadian girls.
Exactly. Yeah.
In the news.
I will.
Oh, yeah.
I will do topless, but I'm not doing hog out. I'm telling you that right now.
Okay. What about like a back facing or like a like a beautiful elegant sort of
Like I'm looking over my shoulder.
over the shoulder like the Angres painting where the odalisque.
Yeah.
You could both be doing that.
I'm pretty happy with my lats right now and my upper back as well. Jason, Jason, on the other hand, he's got a lot of work to do on his lower body.
I'm going to need you to use your imagination with the way that my body is shaped.
Okay. I'm actually seeing a bit of a merman
I think-
sort of like maybe the tail.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Maybe it's like a very low slung beginning of the mermaid tail, sort of speaking to the very fashionable low slung pant.
Yeah.
We're seeing some hip bone. We're seeing some happy or medium happy trail. Some what's the mid ground of happiness? Like some content trail. And then
It's a high trail.
eye trail.
It's an eye trail.
Yeah, and we're seeing those blend, like kind of becoming, emerging into a beautiful blue and green, boy colored, of course, very masculine colored.
No fucking pink shit, all right?
Yeah.
No fucking pink, unless it was that real tree pink. That real tree pink would be cute for this. It could be a real tree men's merman tail. So each of you have a tail, and they're coming together, and they're forming sort of a heart shape.
I was thinking,
And there's an arrow through. This is Valentine's Day. Hey, let me get through my vision. If you don't mind, there's an arrow shooting through the merman heart because it's like a Valentine's Day, like a heart with the Cupid's arrow through it, and it says, "Boys are back in town."
I mean,
How long gone?
Okay.
Valentine's Day, 2023.
I want you to be able to get I was hoping for something more traditional. But if that means I have to keep my shirt on, I'm willing to do that. Like I was kind of looking like
no, I think it's a no pants kind of
like
story,
your
but
Ian Bradley work, something along those lines. I don't
Right.
I don't want bug eyes or anything either. I just want to look like pretty cool.
okay. What do you mean by bug eyes?
No. I just don't want any of my extremities to be exaggerated in any way.
Chris, are you saying that she's known to bug eyes out?
No. I'm just saying.
Okay, you don't like a fantasy kind of mythological creature.
Exactly. I'm saying she's going
Okay.
fantasy in a way that I need to bring her back down to earth, Jason.
Sorry, that was the vibe you kind of give me. Like I was just sort of reading.
I give you a merman vibe. Okay. I didn't realize.
Well, Chloe, since I can't afford to pay you to commission a full size like 6-footer oil painting, how much for Halloween to just avatar me, just make like my actual body blew me up?
Oh yeah, I mean, I definitely have a side hustle of body paint, like face paint and body paint. So I'd be happy to just come in there. Yeah, it's hand applied.
That's where you met all the Venice guys.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's hand applied pigment, moisturizer mixed with a little paint, and yeah, I'd be happy to get in there. I am opening my bookings for Halloween of 2023, so it's good you get in there early. We're only about 9-10 months out. So
I won't make that mistake twice.
Do we have to go through your gallery, or is this a direct booking? Can I buy it out of the studio?
This is a direct booking. Yeah.
Okay, I'm buying it. We're trapping out of the studio for Jason's body paint.
Yeah, Jason's body paint is a direct DTC, direct to consumer.
It's DTC.
Direct to collector.
Yeah, direct to collector.
I'll throw a couple toonies your way, of course.
Oh. Wow.
What a podcast with Chloe Wise. What an amazing.
Oh, did we start?
We started. We finished. We did it. We did a full hour. Chloe Wise. Thank you for talking to us on How Long Gone. Guys, Chloe's paintings, all joking aside, are incredible. I'm a big fan. Have been for a very long time. Chloe, do you have anything coming up? Do you have anything you want to talk about as far as the work goes, or just
any plugs, any shout outs, anything you want to let the world know?
Yeah, guys, keep an eye out for my upcoming series of Mermen, podcasters as Mermen. So excited to finally sort of show that to the world. No, nothing to plug at all. I'm
great.
Showing it free. I'll see you guys there.
Okay.
That's it. That's all.
We'll see you there. I'll make
Thanks
sure.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. No, thanks for coming. Pleasure. It was a pleasure, and I'll see you we'll be there. We'll see you in LA.
Okay, we're still location sharing, right? So you can just come sort of surprise me.
yeah. I'll just come find wherever you decide to stay. I'll just show up. Don't worry about me.
Just be there.
Yeah, don't worry about me. I'll be there.
Okay, so see you soon.
All right. Thanks, Chloe.
Bye, guys.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.